Answering MCAT questions in under 60 seconds. Following oxygen exchange in the lungs, blood returns to the heart. Through which of the following vessel types does this oxygenated blood initially enter the left atrium? So the answer choices are A, pulmonary artery, B, pulmonary arterial, C, pulmonary venule, and D, pulmonary capillary, right? So the answer to this question is actually C, right? It's a pulmonary venule, right? Pulmonary vein. And for this, we want to remember a couple of things, right? The first is let's review the blood flow through the heart, right? So the first thing is that blood returns to the right atrium of the heart via the inferior vena cava and the superior vena cava. And then also there's a coronary sinus that is going to return venous blood to the right atrium from the coronary circulation, which is supplying the heart itself, right? But generally the IVC and the SVC, and that goes to the right atrium. And then the blood is pumped into the right ventricle, though most of it just flows passively down via gravity. And then the right ventricle is going to pump it via the pulmonary artery, PA, to the lungs, okay? So that's why pulmonary artery and then pulmonary arterial is wrong, right? And then from the pulmonary artery, it'll go through the capillaries, right? And then through the alveolar capillaries, and it's going to pick up oxygen. And then it's going to travel via the pulmonary veins, so the PVs, into the left atrium. And then from the left atrium, it's going to go to the left ventricle, and then the systemic circuit, right? The systemic circuit, right? And so here, you want to just also remember a general rule that veins, in general, are going to transmit blood from the periphery back to the heart, whereas arteries always take blood away from the heart. That's a good rule of thumb. You don't also want to fall into the trap of thinking about like oxygenated versus deoxygenated blood, because, for example, oxygenated blood, while for the most part is transmitted by arteries, it isn't always transmitted by arteries, right? For example, the pulmonary veins, right, like here, are the ones that are actually carrying the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. It's not an artery, okay? So those are a few tidbits. But here, C is the right answer. So know your circulatory system anatomy.